Should you play Final Fantasy XIV? Now this is a question I've been asking myself recently due to the hype around the game and many other content creators moving over to Final Fantasy XIV. I know for myself that I have been sitting on the fence about this, and I know many others are doing the same. So that begs the question, should you play it? Well, in this video we'll be exploring Final Fantasy XIV as a new player and see what all the hype is about. And maybe, just maybe, we may find something truly amazing. Before we continue, I would like to say thank you to all of my Patreons who make all of this possible. Thank you ever so much. Now on to the video. How we'll be judging if it is worth playing. In order to gauge this game, we'll be looking at 8 factors which make a good player experience. These are storyline, initial quest line, class selection, character creation, community engagement, graphical quality, music, and overall immersion. These are the factors that we'll be looking at with Final Fantasy XIV, so without further ado, let us begin. Character creation, one of the cornerstones of every MMO. This is where new players come to first because they will need to create a character in order to play the game. Looking at Final Fantasy XIV's character creation screen, I was astounded by the level of customization towards my character. I was able to customize him the way I wanted to a level I have not experienced before. The overall attention to detail was truly remarkable. You can definitely see that the developers really took their time in making this into an amazing experience and truly made me wish to continue playing the game. Wait, you can... Wait, what? Why? Wait, why? Oh, there's more. Holy crap, I thought it was only one select. For character creation, you are awarded 9 out of 10. Looking at class selection. Now, looking at class selection, I found that it was very to the point and very easy to navigate, as it was all nicely laid out and easy enough for me to switch between each race. Quite frankly, this was something I really liked as it was easy to understand as a new player and I was able to make a decision quite easily based because of this. So for class selection, I will grant a 7 out of 10. As for the storyline, I found the introduction to be quite cool.
I don't like crowns. I don't want a crown. Okay. That's pretty cool, right?
Okay. With the beginning cinematic. But after a while, once I got onto the carriage, that part to be very long-winded. However, I could easily forgive this because as a whole, it was a very sleek and smooth introduction, bringing me into the world at my own pace, which I very much enjoyed and appreciated.
Are we reborn?
Yeah, and with frost we can destroy. Imagine if we could... Oh, imagine if I can get frost powers with like my sword. Just be like frost fire. Imagine if you could get that type of customization. Gotta say, okay, really good introduction. A little bit long-winded at the end, but actually very good. After doing a few of the quests, I found that I was following along the main storyline, which I had little cutscenes which led onto quests and instant events as I progressed, leading me to get sucked into the game, which 3 hours, well, it turned into 6 hours. And even after then, I logged the next day to actually play a bit more of the game. This type of storytelling kept me wanting to know more as I quested, and overall this is a massive win for me. So with that said, the storyline is definitely a 9 out of 10. Along with the story sucking me into the world, the initial questline helps solidify that, with integrating itself into the story at the same time, instead of the standard kill 30 boars. This was different to what I am normally used to and was a quite refreshing experience. As far as the rest of the questline goes, you can really see that developers are really putting in the time and effort into the new user experience, which gives the feeling of care towards a new player and makes me wish to continue progressing through the game. So the initial questline overall, I would give it
an 8 out of 10. Moving on to community engagement, I was dumbfounded by the amount of people playing on my server. They have this nice way, I noticed, instead of heavy sharding, they split the city up by where it was a quick load into a different part of that city, which I don't mind in the slightest, because seeing other players in game make you feel a part of the world, drawing you into the game even more and makes you want to spend time within that game. That with talking to other players, I found the community to be very welcoming, and even when I did my first dungeon, I went for tank and was learning as I go, and actually spoke to my dungeon group, which is something I'm not used to for a very, very long time. For me, community is a massive thing, as I feel that it makes or breaks a game. So for community engagement, I'm definitely giving it an 8 out of 10. Now for the part I will always look to if all of the above meet my requirements, and that is graphical quality. This is definitely something to look at within games, as bad graphics stand out like a sore thumb, and overall I was thoroughly impressed with the attention to detail within this game. Whether that be the capital city or even the open world, you can see very clearly that the focus on creating an immersive world that all blends together in a unified way is there. And overall, and for a game that has been out since 2010 but got all overhauled in 2013, I must say the world is something I have not experienced, and the graphics help tie this all together in a nice little bow, leading me to give this an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the music of the game, I found this to be quite good. The music blended well with what I was doing, whether that be in a city or even fighting mobs. I found that the music blended to the activity very well, and for a large amount of the time, I felt really relaxed by the music. This was quite different to what I'm usually used to. I'm used to just turning off the sound when I'm playing. And even after playing, I was humming the music around my house. So in essence, it was very relaxing and catchy. So overall, I definitely would give this a 9 out of 10. Lastly, we can look at the overall immersion of the game. As I stated before, I intentionally went into this saying I would only play 3 hours tops, but very quickly turned into 6 hours, which led me on to coming back the next day and the next day after that. Plus, I have played a little bit today. I definitely am able to lose myself within the game, which is definitely a plus because I want to enjoy myself while I'm playing. And this can be said for all games, as we play games to pretty much have fun. This is what I think Final Fantasy XIV does quite well, and this is why I will definitely give it an 8 out of 10 for immersion. To round up my thoughts on Final Fantasy XIV, I am truly shocked, and I mean I am truly shocked by the amount of effort that has been brought into the game and how well each and every factor has been catered for, compiling them into a truly great player experience, especially for a new player. This brings the total score from the game for me to 66 out of 80, which is quite shocking as I went into this game thinking it was overhyped, but overall, this is a very good player experience, and I would really suggest giving this game a try. So that concludes my video on should you play Final Fantasy XIV. It is definitely a very hard yes, but other than that guys, have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.